Welcome to CT&HG, cardboard, tape, and hot glue.
Several years ago, I made a bunch of Lion King costumes for a group, a singing group, a chorus my children are involved in. Although now it's down to just, one regular and one occasionally. Unfortunately, the Lion King costumes are being retired. But I was asked to make a couple accessories for this year's production. I don't know the actual song, but they're doing something where Kintaro is going to be on stage. If you don't know Kintaro, that is a character out of a Japanese folk tale. I was asked to make a couple props, and of course I used my favorite materials to do so. Cardboard, tape, and hot glue. And this time actually a bit of bamboo. I did not take video of the making process because there's a bit of a rush job on these, so I had to get them done as fast as possible, and setting up a camera and moving things around camera, and it just takes a lot of time. But I did take lots and lots of pictures, which I can now talk you through.
These are decorative items, but they're also props for a musical, so I guess they have both function as well as decoration, so I guess it stays right in the middle, balance between decorative and functional, practical. Well, the axe is the bigger of the two props. It was the easier one to make. I just had to start by getting the approximate size I needed, sketching a general shape, cutting one side off, flipping it over, tracing that, cutting it off, getting it pretty much symmetrical, then doing a similar thing on the edge of the axe to get it as nice as possible, then trace that completed shape onto another piece of cardboard to cut out a second copy, then cut some cardboard to make the back of the axe and to make the space where the axe handle will go, glue the top piece on, create some internal supports, glue them in with lots of glooped on, dropped in hot glue, with some tape to hold the edge together so that the glooped on glue would have a chance to solidify and cool. Then cut some more rectangles to create shims to center and hold the bamboo nicely. Then cut some top and bottom plates, glue them on, create a hole for the bamboo to go through, cover the whole axe head in black tape, and create a cap to hold the bamboo, and then create a lower box of identical size to make the handle that goes through the iron, so-called iron axe head. Glue that all together, then cut some trapezoids to bring the width of the axe handle down to the approximate size of the bamboo inside. Glue that all together, and then because bamboo just isn't quite the right look for this axe handle, I cut some more cardboard, wrapped it around the handle, wrapped that in brown tape, glued everything together, glued on an end cap, taped all that up, added another layer of cardboard on the very bottom, taped that all up in black to make it look like some kind of wrapped handle, then added a silver edge along the axe blade to look like a sharpened blade, and then the final step was creating a lightning shape for both sides, because I guess that's also some kind of Kintaro symbol. Kintaro's medallion was in some ways easier and in others more fiddly. I found a reference picture online from a series of TV commercials where Kintaro was used as a character in the commercial, which was actually the same reference picture I used for the axe. I figured out an approximate size, traced out the circle, cut it out, then drew the design of the kanji kin, which is gold, which is where Kintaro gets his name. I then cut out all the pieces I didn't need, and then took some very thin cardboard, which I think actually came from a shirt my wife bought me. I cut out an overly large O, cut out a certain number of degrees of the O, and attaching the two ends together made it angle towards the inside. A slightly smaller O was made for the inside. But I just kind of got lucky on the inside. I just tried cutting a circle, and just completely by luck, it was the right size and the right angle. It was easy enough to glue the bottom edge to the base cardboard, but I couldn't glue the top edge directly. So I taped it all up, poked holes through the base cardboard, and then just filled in lots and lots and lots of hot glue, letting it fill up inside as much as possible to glue the two angled top pieces together. Then I removed all the tape, and then started cutting the pieces to fill in the gold character. I put on each piece, planning out what would be the easiest to fill in next, and then had to measure against the angles of the previous pieces and the lengths. It went together without too much trouble. There was a little bit of fiddling to try and find the exact right angles, a little bit of cutting and recutting, and overall it went fairly painlessly. Once I had all the pieces in, it looked better than I expected it to, honestly, and produced a lot of scraps. And so of course I repeated the poking holes in the back and filling with hot glue method. I made 3 braids of yellow yarn and then braided those braids together to make the string for the medallion, and then cut 6 mounting points which I glued together, cut and peeled up some of the base cardboard, shoved in, and then just basted in hot glue to give them a really firm connection to the medallion. Once all the cutting and gluing was done, the only thing left was a coat of gold spray paint from the 100 yen shop. Went on smooth and easy, but it did kind of show up places where the surface of the cardboard had gotten a little mucked up. So up close, I think it doesn't look as good as it could, but from far away, you can't even tell.
Just last night, I finished Kintaro's, I don't know what you call it, medallion or something. Looks pretty good, and I got his axis. I think that's pretty good. The only thing I'm not totally happy with is the lightning bolt. I feel like I could have done it better, and also because I was taping it down to my cutting board first, which is getting a little bit old and very cut up. Chunks of the cutting board came away on the lightning bolt as I peeled it up, and so they're not as sticky. Like the kind of, I got both sides, so they're not as sticky as they could be. You got to kind of smooth them down occasionally. Since they're not that sticky, I could very easily peel them off if I can at some point make a better lightning bolt design. That probably will get done. So this is the first time I'm including bamboo in one of these projects, and well, it's worked out just perfectly. It's great, lightweight. It actually had several years to dry inside the cloakroom because I was using it for shelving, kind of like support. I will have to replace it at some point because I took it down and haven't put anything up to replace it. But so yeah, nice and lightweight, and it won't rot, and that's pretty strong. Because it's nice and strong, this prop should last for years. The only thing I might have to do is refresh the tape now and then. There's a couple spots that it wants to peel up, like around the top of the handle. Other than that, yeah, it should be great. Oh, and the medallion should be just fine as long as no one looks at the back. There are, a bunch of holes there. I could use some of the leftover thin cardboard stock I used to create the medallion to cover that over, just, completely glue it over top. But then I'd have to cut out all of these spots again, and they were a pain in the butt, and no one's going to see it, so that doesn't matter. The only thing I'm thinking is this might be a little bit scratchy on the neck. I hope there's something blocking the string from whoever wears it, blocking it from their neck. And I do wish I'd managed to get this a little smoother. I think it looks fine from a distance, but up close there are several imperfections that I do not like the look of. But then, I'm my own worst critic. I pick apart all the parts I don't. I know where all the problems are, so I know what's, wrong with it. Like there's a hair in the paint. Ah, well. I do have one more thing to make for this production. They kind of want it by tomorrow for rehearsals, and I haven't even started, so I don't think I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try my best. Click the thumbs up, questions and comments down below, and please subscribe, help support the channel, and I will try and speed up my frequency of projects, because it kind of fell by the wayside for a while. Next time you feel like making something, come on back here for more CT&HG.